Where am I supposed to look?
This.
That one? First practice, night 2. See how it goes. Hopefully it goes good. He's got a legit mohawk behind us. Other way. Another Yamaha broken chain.
What's up? We're here at Springfield GT Arena Motocross Day 2. Yesterday went good. We got a second. We're trying to continue the good luck tonight. Good riding tonight. We qualified second in practice, so should have first gate pick for Heat 2 tonight. Hopefully we can rip some starts and get out front. Trying to be number 1 tonight.
I know what he's capable of. I know what he likes. You know, we've worked together for 10 years, 15 years, or 10 years professionally, and then, 20 years we've known each other. We've known each other our whole lives. So, I know how he rides. I know what he likes in a bike. I know what he expects out of a bike, and so it makes it really easy to, set it up and communicate with him. We have that, understanding, from our years of experience.
Man, it's awesome work we've done. We've known each other for so long. We used to race together, we rode together, and then we've just been friends for pretty much our whole life. So kind of the rider-mechanic chemistry there is great. I trust him, he kind of trusts me, and it's just, it makes me feel really comfortable at the track, knowing he's going over my bike, and yeah.
What's our goal here tonight?
Win. It's our goal every night. Not lose our suck. That'd be tragic. That sucks.
The goal. Yeah, this bike's been getting me off the line amazing. So hopefully we can do that in the main and have 2 solid main events and go from there.
All right, there we go, guys. Look for the number 2 chase, Marquier.
I mean, there wasn't anything to it. We got the whole shot and we won. Like, that's how it's supposed to go, right? Textbook. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Chad said, get the whole shot and you cross the checkered flag first.
Went great. We got the whole shot, led the thing start to finish. We got to try some different lines out there on the tracks, try some different options for the main event, and came out with a win. Let's do it again in the main.
You gotta go! You gotta go! Come on! All you got! Yes! Hell yeah! Good on. That was awesome. You did it. Dude, awesome.
All right, Springfield, let's make some noise. Holy cow, what a main event. I was going absolutely crazy on the mic. I don't know if you guys can hear me. That was exciting. Wow. Marquier, man, how'd you get that one done?
Oh man, I ripped a sick start first of all and just got out front in clean air. I guess Henry kind of ran into some trouble there. I saw him back a little ways. I knew he would be coming. He's a strong competitor, so I just kind of put my head forward and he was coming at the end, but held on to it, man. I'm stoked. I think it's been like since maybe 2020 since I've even won one of these, so it's been haunting me for a little while. So got the monkey off the back. Yeah, just stoked right now. I can't thank Dylan at 405 Mods enough for making this season happen for me. He's taking a lot of stress off me, and AJAX Motorsports, Skills, everyone that's helping me out. Fuel Ministries, thanks guys, let's do it again in Moto 2.
All right, let's make some noise. You guys put on a heck of a show for you tonight. All right, folks,
I got stuck on that berm and 7 guys went by.
Woo! Finally!
Finally.
That's huge for team owner.
Yeah. Big for him.
Up for it.
Thanks, boys. This is what we live for. Thank you.
Yeah, your bike sounds good.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Hot, dude. That's been haunting me for too long.
Dude, I probably blew out this mic. I guarantee it.
Holy crap, he was coming.
Yeah.
He was hauling, but
Yeah, she
has
was.
to be white flag. Nope. Okay, next lap's got to be white flag. Nope. I'm like, come on. Dude.
Back to business.
He was coming hard at the end. I pumped up so bad the last 3 laps because I knew. I was like, he's coming, he's coming. You were getting a little bit more and more, and then Dylan was a little more, and I was like, I don't know if this is even happening. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Oh, thanks, buddy. You're welcome. Thank you, appreciate that. Got the whole shot, we got out front, we had a nice lead early. So we had a little kind of breathing room, but I was still just trying to charge and make as much ground up as possible. I guess Henry got caught up on the first lap and he had to get through some traffic, and he was coming for me though. He was the last lap, so I had to stay on it because he was kind of inching up a little bit more and more, but hey, we got the win. Been trying to get that all season. I've been trying to get that for a few years, so we did it. I couldn't be more stoked. Let's try and do it again the second main.
They're going to flip the coin. Let's see who gets the game thing that's tails. So it's going to be Chase Marquier. And Marquier with the whole shot. Harvard up behind. Look at Harvard. Now here's the showdown, and it's tails. So it looks like Henry Miller gets to choose the first game.
Yeah, that was good. I got it's a third, fourth place start maybe. I was in bed giving Henry some fits, so low-key was kind of helping. He's gonna help me out there. But no, Henry's good. He's a good defensive rider. He got out front, just kind of checked out. The lap just didn't help me too much. But yeah, awesome weekend, awesome night. One of my favorite tracks all season. Let's continue this the next weekend.
All right, there you go. Let's hear it for Chase Marquier. And now our third place finisher is going to be
Oh man, I was just excited. I was so excited. Like, it was awesome, you know, with Henry having that little bit of mistake in the beginning. You know, he's been hard to beat, and that was the first time he cracked all year, you know, so I knew that, you know, as long as Chase stayed solid, like, we had a fighting chance. And, you know, he came for him at the end. You know, he was charging hard, but, you know, Chase was able to hold him off and make it happen. So, man, it was awesome. It's good. You know, I couldn't think of a better person for it to be our first win, with it being Chase. Like, you know, we've been through a lot together, and for us to make that happen, man, it feels really good. Weekend as a whole, I mean, was really good. Chase, I think he won every single one of his heat races. Got second in 3 out of 4 mains, and then won that first main tonight. So tonight was awesome to see him finally get that win. I know that's been a big burden off of his shoulders. His first win for us as the team, so really, really excited for that. It was awesome having Cody and Travis here with Fuel Ministries, so that was really cool having them here to, you know, experience that with us.